What if the person you feared most in your village turned out to be royalty? What if the truth about your birth had been buried so deep, even the king himself didn't know it? This is the powerful return of a lost prince, a tale of secrets, sacrifice, and destiny. Welcome to my short storybook. 2 days had passed since Princess Adaeze and Zina returned from their 7-day journey. The Kingdom of Udu buzzed with whispers. Something had shifted. The air felt different. The king, though aged and wise, had barely slept. His heart was restless, not from fear, but from a mystery waiting to be solved. That morning, inside the royal court, King Olana sat upon his throne. In front of him stood his daughter, Adaeze, poised, composed, but with fire in her eyes, and beside her, the ever-bold and loyal Zina. "Father," Adaeze began, "I need you to tell me what happened the day I was born." The king leaned back slowly, his gaze drifting far into the past. His voice dropped to a quiet hush. "I remember. I was restless that day. Your mother was in labor. It is our custom. Once a royal child is born, they must be taken immediately to the ancestral shrine for protection. So when you were born, I carried you there myself. But when I returned, your mother had already been taken to her chamber. Everything seemed normal." Adaeze exchanged a look with Zina, then spoke again. "Father, who was the midwife that took my delivery?" The king mentioned her name, an elderly woman now, known by few, remembered by fewer. Adaeze nodded. "Then summon her, please." The midwife arrived. Her hands trembled. Her face was lined with time and burden. "What happened that day?" Adaeze asked her directly. The woman lowered her head, and then she spoke the truth. "My princess, your majesty, on the day of your birth, your mother gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl." The words dropped like thunder. The king's eyes widened in disbelief. You mean I had a son?" The midwife fell to her knees. "Yes, my king. Forgive me. In those days, the law condemned twins. Both children would have been taken to the evil forest, killed. But you didn't kill them?" "No, Your Highness. I obeyed my heart. I sent the boy away, far, to be raised in secret. Your wife asked me to mark him with a small symbol, in case a day like this ever came." Silence. And then, tears filled the king's eyes. "So, all these years, all this time, I had a son, and I didn't know?" Adaeze stepped forward. "Father," she said gently, "his name is Adaeze. He lives in the 7th village beyond Udu. Zina and I met him. He bears the mark. He is your son." The king stood, tall, proud, grateful. "Then let us bring him home." The next morning, the king summoned his cabinet. Elders gathered, and for the first time in many moons, joy and purpose filled the royal hall. "The prince lives," the king declared, "and it's time he returns home." Preparations began. Roads were cleared, carts were polished, royal banners were sewn afresh, messengers were sent to neighboring villages. Udu was ready for its prince, new. And so, the day came. A grand royal procession, led by Princess Adaeze Zina, journeyed through the kingdom. The people watched in awe. Where were they going? What was happening? They arrived at a humble hut in the 7th village. There was Adaeze, tall, calm, mysterious. He had lived all his life as a commoner, misunderstood, even feared. But now, his truth was about to shine. Adaeze entered the hut and told him everything. His mother's courage, the secret midwife, the mark on his body, his royal blood. Adaeze was speechless, his eyes filled with tears. Zina dressed him in royal garments. Adaeze placed the sash of Udu across his chest, and when Adaeze stepped out of the hut, The entire village gasped. This was no ordinary man. This was the crown prince. The drums roared, the carts turned. Adaeze, the long-lost son of Udu, rode home in splendor. And as they entered the gates of the palace, the people of Udu erupted in celebration. The king rushed forward and embraced his son. At last, a prince had returned. That night, Udu didn't sleep. Fires were lit, goats were roasted, wine flowed, and in every corner of the land songs were sung. The prince has come home, the throne has found its heir. Udu shall reign in peace again. And while the kingdom celebrated, one question lingered in the hearts of the people. What role will Zina play now? What other secrets lie buried? Because in Udu, adventure never truly ends. Don't miss the next thrilling chapter in Zina's incredible journey. Subscribe to my short story book for fresh African tales every single week, stories that touch the soul and uplift the spirit. Like, share, and turn on the bell. There's more to come.